Hello! This is probably not what you're expecting if you're tuning in for a playing of Skyrim, but, and we're starting an hour, almost an hour late, so sorry about that. Anyone that was actually tuning in, due to my, uh, previous warnings. Anyway, I am Steven, and this is Midnight Hatter, my channel, and this is our first live stream. Took a lot of work to get it going, but we're gonna see how this thing works out, see who is gonna tune in. So I ran a poll on Twitter last week to see what people would want to watch me actually live stream on YouTube, and it was a dead heat, a 50-50 tie between playing an Elder Scrolls video game like Skyrim, Morrowind, or Oblivion, and doing a D&D solo adventure. So because of that, I decided to do both, in a way. So I have created a character using a I'm putting links in the description to everything that I'm using as well, so check out the description to see these links. But I created a character using some fan-made Skyrim playable races for D&D 5e, and I'm actually going to play through a D&D solo adventure from DM's Guild and using that character, and we're gonna see how it goes. It might be super unbalanced because these kind of homebrew content things tend to be a little unbalanced. At least all of my homebrew stuff has been terribly unbalanced. I made a playable beholder race that was incredibly overpowered, so I definitely I'm expecting to be a little overpowered for this adventure. The adventure that I'm going to be running is called the Death Knight Squire. Now, if you have not played it and you want to play it, again, the link is below on DM's Guild. It's the top-rated D&D solo adventure that you can download from DM's Guild, so I assume that it's highly recommended. This is my first playthrough of it, and we're gonna see how it goes. If you're not interested, then you can just watch me fudge it up. So yeah, what we're gonna do is I've actually got some fancy layouts here. What you're seeing is you're seeing my big ugly face. And then to the top right here, is the way that this adventure is made. You have these printable maps that allow you to navigate the maps without seeing everything all at once. You have to kind of navigate through scenes, if you will. They use the word tile page. Over here, in your center left, you've got my dice tray so that you can see that I am not cheating. I don't know if you can see the dice results, but I'll do one of these moves so that you can see what I actually rolled. That way I'm not cheating. I'm not gonna fudge any dice rolls for myself. We're gonna see how that plays out. And then using D&D Beyond, I was actually able to get a character sheet that you guys will be able to look at as well. So I'm not fudging my numbers. You see that I really do have just a 9 strength. So let's just hope that I'm not going to have to do any arm wrestling throughout this adventure. But enough of that introduction. Let's just hop right in. Again, if you have not played this adventure and you want to, I would recommend not watching this stream. Go download it and play it yourself, and then watch me make a fool of myself. And yeah, we can hang out. I've got my beverage here. I hope you've got a tasty beverage to keep you nice and sated. I'm going to use my best dungeon master voice when reading from the text that I have here on screen. And I hope you enjoy the show. So, well, let's see. I should tell you a little bit about my character, of course. I have this handy Dunmer, well, Dunmer, it's a drow, really, miniature that's going to be representing me. As far as the baddies in this adventure, I'm just going to use red dice because I don't know what we're going to be running into as we play through this. A little bit about my character. A Dunmer by the name of Nivosi Hlalu, an aristocratic Dunmer. He is from the House Halu, which is the Mercantile Guild in Morrowind, if you're familiar with the Elder Scrolls lore. He is a warlock, level 2. He sold his soul to Hermaeus Mora in exchange for forbidden knowledge, And since then, he's been sort of trying to atone for these past sins. Kicked out of his family for Daedra worshipping, which is illegal in all of the imperial cities, such as Balmora and Vivek, at least in the Third Age. Now, I'll warn you that this playable adventure is actually set in the Forgotten Realms, but, we're just going to kind of adopt it to match Vardenfell and Morrowind. So let's hop right in. Let's take a look at our backstory. It is the year 1349 DR, in the month of deep winter. You've been on the road for nearly 2 months now, and snow hangs thick on the trees as you make your way toward the town of Orlebar at the foot of the Grey Peak Mountains. The Grey Peaks are known throughout Faerun for their silver and iron mines, but it is a different type of metal that brought you here. Gold. While you were in Neverwinter, you overheard rumors of a large hoard of treasure within an abandoned goblin keep. Even tavern rumors proved to be fruitful sometimes, and having been without purpose for some months, you departed immediately for the Grey Vale. When you reach Olbar, the air is brisk and the town is busy. Carts carry all manner of goods, timber, wool bales, grain, and animals from the surrounding country. Some of these goods would be bound for Waterdeep or Neverwinter, and others for the nearby city of Loudwater. Hungry and thirsty for many days on the road, you enter the first tavern you see, the Woodman's Retreat, and satisfy your cravings. Bread, cheese, and hot mulled wine do the trick nicely. In our context, we'll say some skooma, maybe, little hitting the skooma pipe. You then inquire for the barkeep about accommodation. Your bones ache and rest is essential. The mountains can wait 1 or 2 days while you rest and replenish your supplies in town. The barkeep tells you that a very respectable inn, the Silver Flask, is just nearby. Toting your backpack, you walk down the street to the Silver Flask and pay for a room. The innkeep is a jolly woman who is glad to have your business, and she lights a cozy fire in your room. You bathe, then lie down, to rest and soon in a deep sleep. It's been a while since your hard-traveled self has had clean sheets and a roof overhead. You are woken later by a night. Let's make sure we've got everything going here. Now, if the stream is failing, please, hit me with F. I'm watching the chat here, just in case, because let's face it, the stream health here is not great. So I apologize for that. You're woken later that night by a noise from the next room. You can hear a woman openly sobbing on the other side of the wall. The sound is gut-wrenching. Every now and then a male voice says something as if trying to comfort her. You tolerate this for a while, but eventually it becomes evident that sleep is going to be impossible, and you walk into the hallway and knock on the door to the room next to yours. The man answers. He is dressed finely like a member of the aristocracy, but sports a nasty black eye and a gash across his cheek. In the background, a woman, also richly dressed, sits on a chair by the fire, her face buried deep in her hands. "Yes, what is it?" the elder gentleman asks directly. You straighten yourself up, peering into the room. "I was wondering what all the noise was about," you say. Well, I say. Novosi says. Although now you don't feel quite so annoyed. "I could hear the crying from next door, and I was wondering," I say gruffly. Not used to dealing with well, this isn't so much true. Dealing with aristocrats is, I come from an aristocratic family. If it's anything I can help you with, perhaps we can all get some rest. At this, the woman looks up and sees you. You probably look a fright after all those weeks on the road, ungroomed, hair disheveled, travel-worn clothes, but you've had a bath, so at least you don't smell bad. However, your type, Dunmer, has an air about them. You've seen a fight or two and you know how to handle yourself in most situations. You're what's known in these parts as the adventuring type. Such types generally know how to get things done, things that others might shy away from. Show our guest in, Elric, the woman says weakly, drying her tears with a silk handkerchief. You're shown to a chair. For some reason, this old couple, who introduce themselves as Lord and Lady Brumont, welcome your presence, if only as a distraction from the grief they seem consumed by. Let's see if we can... We arrived here last night, Lady Brumont begins. Elric is so busy these days, so we thought we would bring ourselves to Orlebar for a little holiday. Our son, he's so fond of the mountains, loves all the stories. Well, he's our grandson, really, the son of our daughter who died some years ago. He is all we have left of her. We call him our son. Lady Brumont begins sobbing once more. Elric Brumont picks up the thread. Long story short, my friend, we were accosted on the highway. We were passing along a lonely stretch of road when he appeared. From out of nowhere, a knight, towering brute of a man, all clad in armor. Lord Elric points to his face. Did this to me, knocked me out cold, then grabbed our boy, threw him on a horse, and bolted without a word. I say, mulling over this information. Did he seem familiar this night? Elric shakes his head. I know what you're thinking. Wealthy aristocrat on holiday from Loudwater. Someone must have known we were coming out here and seized the opportunity. It's true, I am what you would call a public figure. It is well known, in Loudwater at least, that I am a wealthy man. But no, this night was something else. We didn't see his face, and it was hidden by a great metal visor. A towering warrior he was, a hulk of a man. Lady Brumont speaks again. And he has kidnapped our poor little Derek, abducted him, just ripped him out of our grasp. What do you do then? I ask. We came straight to Orlebar, Lord Brumont says, and went to the captain of the guard. A thoroughly incompetent fool, Lord Brumont growls. Said this knight was a ghost, that he'd chosen Derek as his squire, and that there was nothing we could do about it. Said Derek wasn't the first, called him the Death Knight. You can imagine what a comfort that was to us. They say the knight lives in the wood nearby, Lady Brumont says airily, as if in a waking dream. Weathercote Wood, isn't it, dear? The old man grits his teeth. Staring into the fire, he punches his palm. Ghost my arse! He snarls through gritted teeth. That knight looked real enough to me. He's a lunatic, nothing more. A lunatic who kidnaps young boys, and when I find the blackguard, by gods, he will pay. So far, this is pretty narratively cool. You know, we've got this lord and lady. Myself, I'm not quite buying their story just yet. But let's face it, I'm the adventuring type, servant of Hermaeus Mora, and I'm on a quest for knowledge, if only the knowledge to free myself of my bonds.